time, Mr. Bad Guy.
The 4K bad guy. Welcome back to another episode of UHD, Friday the 14th podcast. UHD. Like I already said, I'm the 4K bad guy. And earlier that was
That
Matthew
was
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. He came in. He had a little sneak peek. He had to hurry up and get on, but he's quick. He's gone. What's up, everybody? Another great Wednesday. Another night of horror movie podcast right here. Like Nick said, I'm Juan, and I'm thankful to have you here. How you been doing?
Been doing good. Kind of kind
Are
of
you
bummed
cold?
out. Huh? Oh yeah. I decided to just show off the leather face blanket here.
Oh, nice. Made out of real people's face.
Rub Bill's face. Yeah, but it's been good. No, I was like, I know you did your episode on Nightmare.
Nightmare on Elm Street
M Street
3, yeah.
3.
That was the latest episode of the Cinnamon Movie Podcast. But today we're talking a new generation, next generation. So,
Degeneration X.
but what have you been up to, man? You been watching anything? You go to the movie theater lately or anything?
Not this time around. Friday I'm gonna go see Ends.
Halloween ends this Friday.
Yeah, just been buying a bunch of physical media, the usual. Speaking of physical media, you know what came out? The
I did see that. I saw somebody got that. Yeah,
Paranormal Activity
I heard it was only like
box set.
25 bucks.
25 bucks. What are they buying theirs at? It's like 50 something.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So some physical media, some Halloween Ends comes out this week, in theaters on Thursday, or you can check it out on I think it comes out on Peacock Friday morning. So I might stay up until midnight Thursday night, watch it early Friday morning. Um, some of the early reviews are reading that it's okay, so I don't know.
Mm.
I'm excited for it though. I rewatched Halloween 1 and 2018 Halloween today, in preparation for Halloween Ends. I'll probably watch Halloween Kills tomorrow. Watching them back to back to back, I think it's going to be a good set of four films. I think hopefully the ending is. I just hope it all ties in together. So
Hopefully, I mean,
yeah,
Kills is really just a filler
yeah.
movie.
It can't.
That's
There's no way it cannot get as bad as Halloween Resurrection. It
that's gonna be
can't.
like in your lineup of movies you're gonna watch. You're gonna watch Resurrection or Rob Zombies.
Yeah, ain't no way.
Yeah.
But today we are talking. This was my pick, so if anybody out there is wondering why the hell we picked this movie, this was my pick. So today we're reviewing Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Um, Renee Zellweger, Matthew McConaughey. Um, but really, I think I haven't seen this movie in a few years. There you go, right there. Renee Zellweger, Matthew McConaughey, um, Robert Jacks plays Leatherface. Um, Tony Praniski plays Darla. When it says next generation, Nick, it really, really is a whole new generation of. I don't even know. Can you call them family relatives from any of the beginning? Technically, this is uh, the fourth installment of the original franchise. One, two, three. Next generation is the fourth. Um, have you seen this before? Reviewing for the episode today?
This is actually my first time reviewing. Usually always try to avoid this one.
You
Um,
you said you usually do try to avoid it.
yeah, it's exactly what I said. I said it. No, but like what we're watching is, I mean, it's usually a different family. I think this like the first. I've actually never seen the second one. Been wanting to check out the second one, but I think I just been holding off for now, and because I wanted to maybe review it on an episode.
Yeah. So technically,
Also,
I mean, everybody, of course, has seen the original. Like, I mean, the original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like the bee's knees when it comes to horror films. Like, I mean, come on, you got Texas. I mean, you're in Texas, right? That's like the first thing they do to you guys as soon as you come out the womb. As soon as you're old enough to like watch and do anything, they put that movie in front of you, right? You're supposed to watch it before you go to pre-K.
Who's telling you lies up there?
But no, I mean, this is actually the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre that I've ever watched. I watched it super young, a lot younger than I probably should have. So it's always kind of stuck on me. But I think hopefully this was a fun watch for you, and hopefully we can turn it into a good podcast review. So, but
We kind of already went through the cast and crew. Uh,
I didn't get to read the synopsis though.
oh, what?
Let me
Oh
let
shit, jump
everybody
in.
know. A group of teenagers get into a car crash in the Texas woods on prom night, and then wander into an old farmhouse that is home to Leatherface, played by Robert Jacks, and his insane family of cannibalistic psychopaths. Directed by Kim Hinkle. Um, Characters written based off the original film Toby Hooper, starring Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey, and we already read off some of the other ones. So if you guys want to check this movie out, I believe it is on Tubi for free.
Um,
If I'm
I
not
don't know
mistaken.
when I was looking up because I fell asleep last night. I just didn't pick it up, and I was like, I wonder if it's streaming anywhere. I was gonna probably finish it up on my phone, but it they just gave me like a renting options.
Oh yeah, so then it is not available to stream anywhere, but you can rent it on Amazon Prime for $2.99. This gets some terrible reviews. IMDb gave it a 3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 16%. The Metascore is at 50% though, but the Letterbox review is 1 out of 5. So this has got horrible reviews everywhere, every which way you look at it. So Texas Chainsaw: The Next Generation.
Next generation family, straight up.
Family.
Rating time one ratings.
Ratings already. Oof. You want me to go first?
Your pick.
That's how this
Do the
works.
honors.
Um, you know what? I am probably, I've given some classic movies some shit ratings before, like Leprechaun. I gave it like a 1. Um, I think I'm gonna have to kind of just go neutral, and I think I'm gonna have to give this one a 3 out of 5. Um, Next Generation, and we'll talk about it a little bit
Wow.
later. But yeah, I'm gonna give this movie a 3.
That's oh man.
Yeah.
Considering this is one of the cheesier Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
I just, I
um,
just, I just vaguely remembering this more than 2. I definitely remember it more than 3. I'm just talking 1 through 4. Like I'm pretending none of the other ones have been made, and just out of the original first 4, this one to me is more memorable. Obviously, 1 is the best, but I'm just saying I had a hell of a good time watching it today, and it made for a fun rewatch. So rewatchability is always high for me, and it was only an hour and 20 minutes, so I was in, I was out, and it was entertaining. So I didn't find myself like twiddling thumbs or anything like I did watching 2 or 3. So um, I'll give it a 3 for now.
yeah, it was a good first time watch. And I'm right there with you with the three out of five. I kind of thought about giving it 3.5 just because of Matthew McConaughey. That alone deserves an extra 0.5.
Yeah, honestly, if getting the ratings in and out, we both gave it a 3. if it wasn't for the way McConaughey portrayed Vilmer, I don't know if I would have enjoyed this movie at all. Um, I think that's how powerful his lack thereof performance is, and he's just like he makes the film uncomfortable. So at least for me, like he was he was pretty entertaining throughout the whole movie. I will say before you see him, the first 20 minutes, the first 15 maybe, they are kind of like, prom night, dumb teenagers going through doing what they got to do. So the first 15 minutes kind of dragged a little bit, if I can use that word. What about you? Did you enjoy pre Leatherface and pre McConaughey getting introduced to the four teenagers?
Um, yeah, it kind of did drag a bit, but didn't really feel like
It
your
was
average Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. It's
yeah.
different vibes.
It felt like it was at least trying to stay up to date with the other '90s slasher movies that were coming out. Because I mean, this came out in '95. They had they had a theatrical release in '97, re-release. So around that 95, 96 range, you had the new Nightmare coming out. You had Scream coming out in '96. So it felt like it was trying to keep up with the times. But again, it did kind of feel. And I mean, I wrote the numbers down. Like, I was sitting here thinking, like, oh, it was a Texas Chainsaw movie. It was right around that Scream time. I'm sure the numbers for the movie were pretty good. Like, no, like this movie still bombed pretty bad. Like the budget was 600,000. It only made 185,000 back. So this money didn't even make its this movie didn't even make its money back at the box office. So um which is kind of strange though, because I wonder why. I didn't get into that much research of reading about how come it bombed at the box office, but it does kind of shock me with you know young Matthew McConaughey, and it was put out by New Line Cinema, so it was still kind of New Line Cinema was huge at the time. Um, but yeah, it kind of did not perform well. So, but
Young Matthew McConaughey.
yeah, the first 15-20 minutes weren't too bad. That was the roughest to get through, but once you like get on the farm, to me the movie just kind of flies by, and that last 45 minutes is like a complete adrenaline rush. Even like this is probably my fifth or sixth time watching the movie in full, and like even though I knew what was going to happen, I still kind of just like was primed and ready for a good Matthew McConaughey beatdown. What about you?
Yeah,
Did you have any of the young characters that you were not interested in?
the throwaway characters like the
Yeah, because you have
the
Heather. Yeah. Oh, Heather is played by Lisa Marie Newmeyer, not Lisa Marie Presley. Um, so you
I would
have
say the couple really.
yeah, which would probably be I think that's Sean. Sean is the boyfriend of Renee Zellweger who dies. Matt Vilmer runs him over like back to back. He plays that soundtrack, and that's honestly a pretty funny kill. I don't know about you, but when Vilmer just runs Sean over back to back, and he's like playing that monster truck music, he's having a good old time.
The kills I think there wasn't really that many, was there?
No,
But
you only have
first like
yeah, you only have Heather's death, Sean's death, Barry's death, and then technically Vilmer's death. That's it.
the
Spoiler
person
alert.
like, oh, you spoiled it. What was saying the person like racking up those kills was mainly Vilmer
Uh, yeah,
or
yeah, because Leatherface got Barry, and then Velmer ran over Sean, and then towards the end, if you don't really if you pay attention, you'll see it. But Velmer crushes the head of Heather. You think Heather dies? Like she's got like 5 lives in this fucking movie because Leatherface puts her on the hanger, and you think she's done there, but then she escapes. Then Velmer tortures her with the fire and the flames. You think she's dead there, but then the thing that ultimately gets her is him using his robotic leg crushing her head. What do you think of the robotic leg? Let's talk about his leg for a minute.
I mean, it's just real random. Like there's like no story behind it. Just kind of throw in there. So you're like, oh, well, what's the thing behind that? His leg. But I mean, it's a nice little feature. Although it did set him back because when he had like controls to it, and then it's like, no. But I think the robotic leg is just thrown for humor. Just it's pretty hilarious.
His leg.
Yeah, robotic leg.
I like the evolution of both characters in the movie. Vilmer and then uh, Jenny, played by Renee Zellweger. Like, at first she starts off as this like kind of you know, I'll do what's right, kind of quiet, shy, nerdy girl at prom. And then by the end of the movie, like she's been tortured and fucking done wrong so much in this movie that she just turns into complete like, telling Leatherface to sit down and shut up. Like she turns into a badass, and um, you don't get that too much in different movies, especially horror movies. But she kind of does a 360. So I kind of thought that was pretty cool. That's stepped out a little bit and kind of made me turn my head a little bit. And then Vilmer, like, I don't know, what's your first thought of him? Like in this movie, like to me, he's more dangerous in this movie than Leatherface is.
That's where they messed up. You can
Yeah.
have uh side. I mean, yeah, at this point, the faces will be like the front and center. I know in the original they try to treat it like everyone's kind of equal, and Leatherface is not really supposed to be like the main bad guy.
Hmm.
But within these movies, I mean, he's already become the main person. So seeing him take a backseat was just weird,
Yeah,
and
he's.
then making Vilmer look like the total badass in the film.
I know these movies are like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that's the title. But since this was a Shot Factory release a few years ago, I would have liked to see the new cover had been Vilmer on the cover, because you get the irreversible slipcase, so you have Leatherface on the cover no matter what. But just as that slip, I thought it would have been pretty cool if they did like Matthew McConaughey in his own psycho looking way.
And then with the Vilmer's front and center with his robotic legs shining, very glossy.
Oh yeah.
It's like Leatherface has his chainsaw and Vilmer has his rollback leg
But if you had the opportunity to put this movie on 4K, how would your cover look?
on 4K. Where's some
Nice.
at?
See, I like that because you still get the man, the myth, the legend, Matthew McConaughey on the cover.
Vilmer.
But yeah, it did kind of make me wonder, like, he was front and center, and Leatherface was really a setback character, completely different from the first three. But I think it was a good change of pace, honestly. Like it felt good. Sean kind of gets the old school, or not Sean, but Barry kind of gets the old school Texas Chainsaw death. Leatherface gets him and just kind of gets him as he's pulling him into the house. Um, that's pretty much the only Leatherface kill. Did you mind that there was just not that many kills, or did it just kind of flow good for you? Because I mean, even though there was only really three deaths, it kind of the craziness of everything kind of stood out better for me.
Yeah, I mean, just the craziness was it made up for it. But just the end, like Leatherface not really doing much in the movie. It's just like, what am I watching? But I mean, a character like Vilmer, I guess I don't mind it. It's the next generation.
Yeah, next generation, and that title really proves to be a factor. And literally the entire movie. Um, what do you did you enjoy the scene where like Renee Zellweger's in the trunk and what's her name? Uh, Darla's like trying to get her out of the, or not just trying to open the trunk while she's waiting for the pizza, and she's like, "You need to shut the hell up," and the cops are like right behind her, and I'm just like, "Say something," you know.
The peek in the give you a little hole to breathe out of. I'm like, okay, I'll keep my mouth shut.
What'd you think of Darla in the movie? Like she's kind of the one who lets Vilmer know, "Hey, there's teenagers walking around here. You need to go get them," because they call for help. They call for a tower. So she's the one who's like luring the kids in. Um, did you like the aspect of like the domestic abusive relationship between Darla and Vilmer? Like it went back and
It's,
forth throughout the whole movie.
it's like some sick Joker and Harley Quinn story, but
To me, it works.
it works. The love actually just plays into like it's real seductive and everything. But you get you. I feel like in these movies you gotta have that character to lure people in, like make it seem like you're the normal person. Plays out that way for a little bit, and throughout the movie, she seems like she's like trying to do like a face turn, but then just going back to heel like, oh no, I have my loyalty to Vilmer. But
He's got that good strong
leg,
mechanical leg.
it's a
Yeah,
leg that'll do it for you.
she can't stop getting the leg. Um, they even stop in the middle of what they were doing, and she gets the leg right then and there, right before the dinner scene. Uh, what would you think of the crazy? What was his name? The crazy like what was he? I guess you could call him the he's Slaughter in the movie. His last name is Slaughter. The crazy sidekick, I guess.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah,
Um,
he didn't. I don't think he really needed to be involved, but I think it was funny
yeah.
at the end when he was talking to the old guy at the end. Family values just went down the shitter.
He's just there to put a number count to the family, even though Vilmer was the head of the table.
He was. He's the head of the table.
But yeah, he's just there, just filling the spot. I mean, he tried to be like, "Oh,
He's an
look at me,
on.
I'm crazy." He has a little the shocker.
He's an honorary oos.
He's Sami Zayn. That's what he is. And that what's that old guy? And that old where'd he go? The old guy just got up and left.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
It looked like he
Um,
was already dead.
yeah, uh, I guess at the end of most of these movies, they bring out the old man who looks like he's dead. They did that at the first one. It was the original, like supposed to be like grandpa.
Grandpa.
Um, yeah, but I don't know, man. This movie gets like heavily, like it gets super, super bad. Um, it gets like trash reviews, trash ratings. And I didn't put two and two together, but like looking at it and watching it today, I'm like, man, is this an underrated horror discovery? Like, we haven't done really an underrated movie or who we thought might have been underrated in a while, but I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, where's the love for this movie? Because, one, two, and three, they got Blu-ray releases like long time ago. And then I think Next Generation just got a Blu-ray release like 2, 3 years ago, which was the Shout Factory release. I'm like, man, this movie got like no love. I understand it made like no money, but do you think this movie is really as bad as people are reading it out to be?
It's more entertaining Resurrection.
It is. Uh,
But I think it's just the fact that like I think I was going on about like Leatherface taking a backseat. People, there's like probably a big fan base for the character Leatherface, and just see him be second fiddle. And I don't know. His cries are a bit over the top.
Leatherface.
Yeah,
I could agree with
and
that.
it's like but I mean Because after this movie, it's the remake, isn't it?
Oof. Yeah. After this movie, you get the 2003 release with Jessica Biel, which means
Uh,
1990 95. So you got 96, 97, 98, 99, 2001, 2. You get almost 10 years until the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. That's insane. And
Yeah,
even then, like you said, it was a reboot. They just wiped the slate clean.
the reboot they made it more beefier and more intimidating. I was like, nah, we can't have our character end real sissy.
Yeah.
I mean, sure he does it with he still puts on the faces of people, but I think they toned down the real female side of it.
And I know I think you guys have already talked the remake, right?
Yeah, we just haven't talked to beginning yet. I know you've been flirting around with the idea of reviewing that one.
And but you guys have already done the original too, right?
No,
No.
so we got to go
Hmm.
back to the original and then two and three.
Yeah, because I mean, man, this is hard to say. I really enjoy the original like a lot, but if I had to like completely say the original is superior, but the remake with Jessica Biel, man, it's pretty fucking good. Like, I really, really enjoy that one.
He can't keep the whole spotlight. He's got a family. Are they family though? I think I think Vilmer was like, I don't know if I heard correctly. I was his brother.
Yeah,
Say
yeah.
what?
Because he was like, my brother needs a new face and he wants yours.
He wants yours, and then he's that's what he did. He got it. He pissed off Vilmer. I just love
Uh,
when Vilmer would get excited and he just put his arms in the air.
oh, his performance in this movie, like, if you guys have not seen Matthew McConaughey act like a crazy redneck psycho, you have to go see this movie because he's perfect at it. I think he's living his inner self in this movie, and like he's over the top. And some people, to me, he is creepy in this movie because of how over the top he is. The way he grabs Renee Zellweger in the film, he grabs her like he means business. When he turns her head in his truck and says, "Look, there's your boyfriend." Like, you can tell he left bruises on her in this movie. I guarantee you, because of the way he was grabbing her. And it just kind of made you feel like his performance makes you feel uncomfortable. But I tilt my hat off to the old Texas Longhorn fan. He had a good week too, I'm sure. I'm, I'm gonna I'm gonna brag about that. So,
Mm.
but yeah, good for that. Um, man, see, I got so excited talking about Matthew McConaughey's performance. Where were we at?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like I just kind of threw in his overall his performance in this movie. And it's the
This
little
movie.
things you do, like when you get excited. I did enjoy that scene where he's at a gunpoint and like everyone's being told to get to the ground. Well, this guy's like, "Oh, so do it," and then he's all like, "If you won't do it, then I'm just gonna." I think he starts cutting himself at the moment,
Oh yeah, another good scene. And then
and then when
go ahead.
I was like, "Yeah," when she decides to shoot, it doesn't go off, and then he gets a hold of the gun and then he shoots at I guess the window.
But after she shoots and it's blank, he takes it and he puts it in his mouth, doesn't he?
Yeah, he puts his mouth.
Yeah, some good shit.
I think he had when he has in his mouth, like whenever she's about to shoot, and it's like
Yeah, he's just like batshit crazy in this movie, and it's just so fun to watch him do stuff like that. Like, I don't know, it should be called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Velmer's Show,
the Vilmer,
the Velmer.
The Vilmer massacre.
Yeah, that's what they were all missing after that. Like the 2022 version needed Matthew McConaughey in
Return of Vilmer.
it.
I was like characters that you get thrown out there, like as far as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. Uh, besides Leatherface, I think Shop Top's like a character that gets thrown out a
Who?
lot. Shop Top, he's Bill Mosley,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. From the second
like
one.
in the second one, yeah. But it's like you don't really hear the Vilmer. I mean, I'm pretty sure Vilmer has his fan base out there, but just since this is one of the
We
lower
gotta
end
we gotta find
films,
him. You
let's
know,
see.
even if he does have his fan base out there, I'm wondering like you don't really see him go back to a lot of horror movies. I was talking about just Matthew McConaughey. What is that? That's not a Dr Pepper. What are we doing here, Nick?
What
You're slacking.
slacking?
What is that? What are you drinking?
It's today's sponsor.
Oh no. We need to get you some. We need to get you some Dr Pepper. Um, I think I don't know. He just. I wonder if he's one of those actors who just like wasn't really proud of that movie. We need
Hmm,
to find him. We need to talk to him.
they find him.
Yeah, we need to ask him because you see sometimes you see like a lot of those actors talk about it or bring it up or go back to the horror genre. But I don't know if Matthew McConaughey has really ever gone back. He kind of blew up right after this movie, so he did a. I think he did a Time to Kill right before this, honestly. But what about you said did you if there was a negative about this movie, what would you probably pick about it? Would it be the fact that Leatherface was taking the back seat and they kind of made him go out like a bitch?
Essentially, yeah, that'll be like the biggest flaw of the movie.
Man.
Maybe
Go ahead.
I'll say like to the point that you're rooting for that's supposed to be like a side character. I mean, it's Matthew McConaughey, but still, it's like Leatherface. Nah, it's not my Leatherface.
Yeah, this was honestly his biggest role up until 96. He did Dazed and Confused in 93, which is a great movie by the way. Um and then he did Texas Chainsaw in 95, and then he blew up with A Time to Kill in 96. So, um yeah, if I had to nitpick or say something that was really bad about the film, I mean, obviously there's a lot wrong with it if you want to get like technical about it. But I mean, it's a horror movie from the 90s. It's a Leatherface movie. Like I'm not going to nitpick acting. I'm not going to nitpick the way some of it looked. Like the score was pretty promising. Um the characters, you got what you needed out of side characters. Barry, wanted him dead as soon as I saw like the first few dialogues that came out of his mouth. So I'm like, oh, it took 30 minutes for him to get killed, but it was cool. Um, so I think it just depends. But if I had to nitpick anything, or say something I did not like about the movie, it would probably be the Leatherface ending. I didn't mind the way, I didn't mind the way they made him look, or even the way they kind of made him seem like he was. I don't know how to use this word without offending anybody. So I don't know, like the fact that they made him like cowardly, I'm okay with because obviously in the title it's next generation and he's growing up with a different brother. So I don't know, but yeah, but they leave him alive. They leave Leatherface alive, and that's how you end the movie with you know a maybe a possible another film after that. I didn't understand Vilmer's death though. Let's talk about an airplane just tragically flies a little too low and cuts his throat, or did the person driving the airplane see that she was under attack and they just flew down to run him over? I think Vilmer went out like a bitch. What do you think of his
This
death?
is such a shame. You kill off the best, the best character. Um, like Leatherface is right behind Vilmer. Also, I was like, oh, but yeah, I mean Vilmer's closer, so they kept showing the plane. Uh, even before the chase. Um, but they don't show who's in it or like you don't get another movie after this one, so it doesn't get explained after that. This, this movie ends up with a cliffhanger. But
Has a lot of loose ends.
yeah, I was like, the plane just going over.
And then
When I was watching the sea play through, I thought there's gonna be so like a or she would jump up and try to hold on to the plane, like that would be holding on to the plane type of thing. As silly as that sounds, I thought that was gonna go down, but you get the disappointing kill.
what did you think of the random guy with the scars on his stomach?
The
Because the guy in
you
the
mean the
limo.
guy? Oh, the I was like, it's like who's this guy? I was just another random person. He like he was part of the family.
Because it makes I guess that would be kind of interesting in the background, like you know, uh, Vilmer says this the moment they bring Renee Zellweger into the film. He says, "You don't think the FBI is constantly keeping an eye on this place?" And then Darla is saying he's under a lot of stress because of his job, because of what they have him do. So I don't know. And then they're like, "Who killed Kennedy?" So there's a lot more meta behind this movie than like it kind of than it portrays out to be. I think the movie tried to be smarter than what it was, than just your average slasher flick. And I think that's where a lot of people maybe get confused by it or say that it's just like trash because they don't understand the concept of what's going on. Like, it took 3 4 movies to get involved, but maybe there's somebody running the ship and the Leatherface family are just uh, population control.
It's, it's a cult of Thorn. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Not bad.
yeah.
So
No, I
stupid.
mean, I mean that sounds like what's kind of going on here. I mean, they don't really explain too much though of the guy in the limo. He even picks up Renee Zellweger at the end and saves her, but there's still no explanation really towards the guy in the limo.
It's weird. It's like, oh,
But
what do you want to get dropped off at the police or the hospital?
but that's what had me thinking about it. I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty smart, but there's just a lot of loose ends in the movie, and it doesn't really tie up to a lot of plot holes. So it's probably why a lot of people trash it. But I don't know.
Man,
I thought it was pretty interesting. Um, Everybody else kind of lives in the movie. Like Leatherface stays. You don't see nothing happen to him. You don't see nothing happen to Darla, the crazy uncle. You don't see anything happen to him. Um, so you just get an intro and an outro from Vilmer, and then that's it. It does leave it wide open for something else, which we obviously see never happens. Um,
until next year.
yeah. So overall, I thought the movie was pretty fun. Like we talked about, there's only like 3 or 4 kills. Um, yeah, Matthew McConaughey saves it.
He saves it. He saves everything. Just that the dinner table whole thing was awesome. Um, he just goes crazy, man. What does he do? He shoves his girl to the table.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Uh,
There's a lot of abuse in
it's a
this
lot
movie.
of going on, and then he gets a hammer and just smacks the. I'm not even sure what who he is in the family, but he's the honorary
The honorary
oos.
oos.
But just the way he just like, attacks him with a hammer. Now, what was that for?
And then the controlling of the leg with the remote. He's always like constantly looking for the remote that controls his leg. And I'm like, I kept thinking in the movie, I was like, dude, you need to visit Bed Bath and Beyond like Adam Sandler did in Click. You need a universal remote.
Where'd I put the damn remote?
So I thought it was pretty funny.
So did they have like different functions or what? I mean,
I don't know. I think he was always running out of batteries. He
uh,
He looked like my junk drawer in there. Always no batteries, 20 different remotes, but I don't
And
have
he's
no
on
leg.
solar power
Yeah.
remote.
I need he's like, "Oh, I don't have a leg to," but no. Um Interesting. Again, I didn't mind the whole robotic leg sequence. Um I know a lot of people thought it was trash, but I thought it was pretty cool. So,
Shad's flavor. A nice touch. As silly as it is. I mean, it's whole movie silly, but yeah.
and filming location was in Austin, Texas the entire time. How fucking fun is that?
Better be
Yeah.
in Texas.
So, did you watch the director's cut, which was an hour and a half, or did you want, or like an hour and 35 minutes, or the theatrical was an hour and 27 minutes?
So I was gonna ask you, which cut did you watch? I just pressed the first one that was up there, so it was
Oh,
theatrical.
yeah, I did. I did the same. I just did theatrical.
I was like, what's the difference? It's all notched and ending. Vilmer doesn't die.
Yeah,
Should have watched that one.
yeah, wasn't too bad.
Mm.
What do we got next?
We got one guy's moment.
Uh,
What moment was
um,
that for you?
Honestly, any dialogue that Matthew McConaughey did. But if I had to pick a specific one, it would be right when he comes into the dinner scene and he's just like, "All right, all right, all right," and then he talks, about how leather needs, and I like how he called him leather too throughout the whole movie. Like, you know, Leatherface had grabbed that name. It's already been like a cult news given name. So I liked how he called him leather throughout the whole movie. But he came in and they had everybody lined up for dinner, and he again is grabbing Renee Zellweger like he don't give a shit about her. And he's like, "My brother needs a new mask and he wants your face."
He's gonna get it.
Um but yeah, that would probably be mine.
I would say it could be any moment within since like the dinner table area, whether it been him with the gun in his mouth and everything going on, or I don't know. I mean, it's clearly just return of Michael Myers and Halloween for when they're on top of the house. I thought that was a cool moment. I was like, it's too much like Halloween 4.
Nice.
But that'd be like the Leatherface moment, really. And then Vilmer's moment was it's all good.
All good.
It's all good. Oh, well, when he's like he's using his leg to kill that girl. It looked like he was having a wangasm.
Oh, that's funny.
What do we got for the facts?
I picked out a few, so some of them are a little girthy to read, but they're not too bad. Um, it is in the movie. Matthew McConaughey says his dazed and confused line and catchphrase, "All right, all right, all right," is in the movie. Like I said, it's right before the dinner scene. Um, Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger came to fame 2 years later. McConaughey with A Time to Kill and Zellweger with Jerry Maguire, respectively. Both shared the same talent agency when Sony. So when Sony switched owned this movie and distribution rights, they were prepping to re-release it, highlighting the pair. Their agent threatened to sue the studio. Hmm. Um, Jim Sydow, who played uh, Grandpa Sawyer in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974 and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, was offered the role for Grandfather, but he turned it down.
Mm.
This was filmed on location at an abandoned farmhouse in Pflugerville, Texas, nearby um, Austin Bastrop. The majority of the cast and crew were locals from Austin, aside David Gale, a stage actor from Houston. Most of the filming took place at night and was described by makeup artists as a very, very rough time for everybody. Hmm. Bill Johnson, who played Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw 2, was offered the role of Leatherface for this one, turned it down.
No one wants to come back for it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, near the end of Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3, 1990, um, Ken Four asked Viggo Mortensen why they are doing this. Viggo says, because they are hungry. Ken asked Viggo if he ever heard of pizza. In this movie, Tony Perninsky is shown bringing pizza home for the family. So that's why pizza's in this movie. Interesting. But yeah, the rest of them, like some of the other facts are like pretty long. This is the first film where Leatherface does not get killed or does not kill someone with a chainsaw. And then, despite the title, again, absolutely zero people were killed by a chainsaw. Matthew McConaughey originally auditioned for a hero role that was later cut, then recommended a couple of friends before he auditioned himself.
A hero role.
Hmm, interesting. But yeah, those are some facts for Texas Chainsaw Next Generation.
Vilmer Massacre. To be continued. To be continued. Let's say we got one more movie, and this took place on 2000, maybe
I would
around
have
the time period.
I would have liked to see Leatherface die in this movie, and Vilmer come back for a sequel.
The next generation, man. Um, yeah, just to, because there's a lot of loose ends and whatnot. Being at the end of the movie, you're like, what happens? Uh, you see the other girl on the stretcher or something like that, was it? Being
Oh yeah,
strolled away. Like, who is that? Do you know that person? And not a goddamn clue.
not a clue. Interesting.
But yeah, I think after that just comes back to Leatherface just swinging around like what you did in the other movies.
Yeah. So no, like I said, unless you got more something of a different story, I think it was time, honestly, for a reboot. So,
The reboot.
but what's next? Next is your pick, sir, and this is the next UHD episode, October 26th.
Are you ready for it?
I hope so.
Well, this is it's not really necessarily isn't a movie that I had in mind that I was gonna choose. Quick, at least. I mean, um, the movie we are going to dive into is a recommended movie. And if you
Mm-hmm.
were here for I believe last episode of UHD,
Number 23.
number 23 with Jim Carrey. I mean, this is more thriller than horror. Like, I think what is it? It means, let's say, psychological thriller or
Crime mystery thriller
crime.
is what it shows on ZIMDB.
I'm deep. But I mean, whenever this movie came out, I mean, I threw in the genre of horror, even though it's not really so much a full on horror.
I'm buying this for you.
Oh, can you hear that?
All I could think about was
I'm buying this for you. Buy it on Blu-ray.
There you go. Virginia Madsen's in it. She's from Candyman.
I'm buying that for you.
Horror
Tom.
boy.
Actually, I have a good long time to flip through it. Why don't you give it a try?
The number
I've never
23,
seen this movie.
wrenching odyssey into paranoia, one of the most horrifying metamorphoses ever told.
I'm buying
Number
this for
23.
you.
Based on a
Chapter
novel.
1. All I could think about was the number. I met you when I was,
23,
and the day we met was
September 14th.
9/14. 14 plus 9 is?
23.
Riddle me
So just a
this.
coincidence?
I don't know.
Oh, look, that's exactly who.
There are 23 axioms to Euclid's geometry. The human body consists of 46 chromosomes, 23 from each parent. 2 divided by 3, 0.666.
666.
Oh.
So is 23 a blessing or a curse?
Oh.
I was born at 11:12 p.m. 11 plus 12. 23. My birth 23. Driver's license, social security number. It's all 23. It's if it's imitating my life.
You've concerned yourself with minutia and you've drawn wild conclusions from them.
Is this the first time you've seen the trailer?
Every 23rd word and every 23rd
No, I mean, this trailer I play a lot.
Hell is waiting.
I'm like 23.
The number.
There's 22 flavors in Dr. Pepper.
Waco, Texas, and the Oklahoma City bombing both happened
Oh?
on April 19th. You've got to get out. It's coming. 4 plus 19 is 23.
Oklahoma City bombing got brought up?
The Hiroshima bomb was dropped at 8:15. 8 plus 15 is 23. 13 years of lies, no more!
I found out my mistake. My life was a mistake at age 23.
23. The number 23. Also known as Michael Jordan's jersey. Ooh.
Oh.
You would never hurt anyone.
What you think of that?
The number 23.
Chills. 23.
Which was honestly recommended by somebody. So anybody out there watching, listening, you have any recommendations, throw them out there. You know, never know who's listening or who might pick them up. Now I got to go on and get number 23. So
You slacking. Anyway,
should be good.
it's always gonna change. Someone's life.
Hmm
23. You know what that means? I had to bust out a Dr. Pepper when doing this episode.
There you go. I don't know what happened to you tonight. So
Pepsi was a sponsor of today.
sounds like a fun week. Next week, Friday the 14th, the 20th anniversary of The Ring. So that should be a fun rewatch. I haven't seen it in a few years, but The Ring is always it's considered an instant classic for its time and for its day and age. So should be a fun rewatch, honestly.
In 7 days.
Yeah, in 7 days we'll review and talk about The Ring. So
It's how long we have to live.
oh no.
7 days.
Fuck them Bills then.
You gonna get the steelbook? Or are you just gonna...
I don't know. Is it 4K or is it just Blu-ray?
Oh, it's Blu-ray.
No, fuck. I'm not.
It's Paramount.
No, I'm not gonna get it. Oh, with Paramount, maybe. I don't know. Life is like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. So
Paramount's weird with the releases. I mean, I don't know. What are they releasing, like, as far as horror stuff? It's you get the Ring Steelbook. They just put out this of course Paranormal Activity box set, Paramount. The Friday 13th Steelbooks. Every time there's an anniversary, If I heard correctly, this box at Paramount.
Paramount. Yeah, Paramount has a little piece of everything, so it just depends. But
Paramount has everything.
other than that, man, The Ring next week, and then we finish October up with the number 23. So I'm excited. That blanket would be a lot cooler if Velmer was on it.
Velvet blanket. You gotta tell Spirit Halloween, jump on it.
Be a lot
Get
cooler
that.
if you did.
Be a lot cooler if they did have it. Need that Vilmer merch.
I think you know what I think we're just gonna have to do like one whole month of Matthew McConaughey now, whether it's horror or not.
Just gonna have to make up a whole another show.
Yeah, but no. So,
But if you wanna follow us, you can follow us at Friday the 14th Podcast UHD. I'll say it again. UHD. You can follow me at the 4K Bad Guy.
you can follow me at Instagram, one word, the Cinnamon Movie Podcast. So that's the CINEMEN Movie Podcast. So
Oh shit. Said normally I don't plug in this other social media handle, but I should. At Wrestling Tacos, you can follow that page as well. Or if you want to, I guess, see Most of All Productions, that's another page if you want to choose.
60,000 subscribers to this YouTube channel right now. That's insane.
60,000
Yeah.
people. Thank y'all for.
Hopefully we get some of them to go out and check out Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation, because it'd be a lot cooler if you did.
So the whole goal is to become a fan. If you weren't already a fan, not just of Matthew McConaughey, but the character of Vilmer, underrated horror icon.
Yeah,
I said it.
I think you could put him up. You could put him up there with Michael, Jason, Freddy. He's a goat.
Yeah, that was today's episode. Is there anything else you want to throw at us?
Man, nothing too hairy, nothing too smooth. Life is hard. Life is tough. Do what you like and do what you like well. Everybody out there, enjoy each other, enjoy life. Go to a movie theater this weekend, whether it's Halloween Ends or just go support something local and go see a movie. Just everybody stay in good spirits, man. We're getting ready to approach the holidays, and there's always somebody there listening. So see any of these social media tags. If you guys have any suggestions or recommendations, hit us up. Somebody's always on the other end, and we're always willing to listen and talk to somebody about movies.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, listening. Y'all take it easy. Stay ultra. Bye.
All right.